Peace, family. Well, how are you doing today? Well, today's video is about my perspective on spirituality and also religion. What do I think about religion? What do I think about spirituality? How do they connect? And what's the differences between them? Now, give me a second, 1 second. Now, what I do think about religion is, from my perspective, right? This is not something I read in the books. This is not something I know from someone else. This is just what I've gathered, the information and the knowledge that I've put together, the pieces of the puzzle. And what do I perceive spirituality and religion to be? Now, what I've come to gather is that spirituality deals with the etheric realms, beyond the unknown, things that we don't see, things that we don't. Sometimes we do see it, strangely, but things that we can't touch and we can't feel, right? As opposed to religion. Religion is more in the physical realm, where we are able to go to a physical, for example, the temple of God or the spirit of God will be manifested in a physical form. So we could refer to, say, for example, and this is just an example, that God could be, say, Jesus, right? Or the Son of God, which is closest to the Most High, or the God that we talk about in terms of religion. Now, when we talk about the physicality aspect of it, I think that's geared towards more towards religion. So we'll go to a physical temple for worship. We'll deal with physical things in this realm that we could see, that we could touch, and relate to more. Now, my perspective on this in terms of religion and spirituality is, religion was also put in place. Some people might look at it that are spiritual, that religion is BS. I don't think so. At one point in time, when I just got into spirituality, when I became spiritual awakened, I thought that, well, all religion is BS based on the information that I've been gathering and how I feel and what I've experienced. Then I realized that that is not true, because religion is geared and structured in a way that is supposed to bring us towards spirituality, enlightenment, the unknown, to connect with the spiritual realm, the etheric realm, the Most High, the Source, God, Allah, whoever you consider to be God. And that's the main purpose of religion. Therefore, that makes religion also important, because religion, for me, is the physical manifestation of the spiritual realms, of the spirituality. Therefore, whatever we experience here in this lifetime, in this physical realm, should bring us back, or bring us in connection with the spiritual realm. Because after we die, where do we go? We go back towards the spiritual realm. Okay. Now, while we're alive, in physicality, the physical aspect of it is manifested as religion. Therefore, as like I said before, we'll go to a physical temple, worship God. Not saying that we worship in physical object, because that would be what is that? Idols, worshiping false idols and stuff like that, right? Because, and it's only false idols because the source and the true spirituality is not physical. Therefore, it is false if we are worshiping, or if we take into consideration that this thing right here is God, for example. And then God, in some aspects, can be anything that we worship too much, or not even too much, but we consider to be all. You know what I mean? Like, for example, money. Some people worship money, and therefore that is their God. But hey, I'm not saying that money isn't important, but it's the love of it and what we willing to do for it, evil. In that case, if we're doing negative stuff to obtain money, then we're that makes money or God. And also, if we're doing not only negative aspect, because some people, they love money too a lot, not too much, but a lot, and they love money to the extent that money is more important than anything else in their life. That also makes God. Doesn't have to be positive, I mean negative all the time when it comes to money and stuff like that. It can be positive too. However, it's how we look at it, how we feel about it, and stuff like that. Now, the whole basis and point of religion is to bring us back to uh, spirituality. And this is what a lot of people need to put into consideration, that, some people, they'll say, oh, you're spiritual and you're evil and you worship dark stuff. And no, spirituality deals with both realms. Believe it or not, spirituality deals with the yin and the yang factor, right? And most of us, we think that, okay, for example, God would not be God or source or whoever you consider to be God if it wasn't balanced. It is the all, therefore it has to be balanced. It has to be good and evil. Even in the Bible area, from the Bible, if you know about the Bible and stuff like that, you'll realize that God, whoever God is, also as the creator, also destroy things. There are instances where God had to banish, God had to destroy, God had to recreate things in order to make it more balanced and whole. Therefore, God is, in a sense, the energy of God or the Most High is also balanced. Now, what we choose to do with our lives also correspond with that factor, in terms of, if we choose to unbalance the scales and do evil, then the scales must be balanced in order, and that's a universal law. The scales must be balanced, and therefore something good has to come out of it. And sometimes it comes back to us as karma, what we put out into the universe, and that's why karma is important and karma is put in place. Whatever we put out is what we get back also. As above, so below, as within, so without. Whatever we're doing, if we put out positivity, positivity will come back. Therefore, maintain balance. It is a tricky thing when people speak about religion and spirituality and other forms of religion and stuff like that. And excuse me, my nose wasn't running until I started doing a video. All of a sudden, it's running. Therefore, right, it is a tricky thing when we speak about religion and spirituality, because a lot of people, they get offended when someone is spiritual that speaks about religion. And oftentimes I can understand that, because in two aspects. One aspect is that people that are spiritual, they tend to be more connected, in terms of, not that people that who are religious is not connected to God and the source and the Most High, whoever you serve, right? It's just that people that are spiritual, they understand a different aspect of what the whole thing about, in terms of way of life and living, and they're more accepting towards the balancing of the scales, and how spirituality affects us in this physical realm. However, they tend, sometimes people that are spiritual, like myself, sometimes, due to, I wouldn't say ignorance, it's not ignorance, but due to or understanding of it, we tend to go against and say, well, people that are religious, or tend to be like stupid, or they don't understand and stuff like that, which is not true. The thing is, everyone has their stages in life. A lot of us in this lifetime will not make it towards the enlightenment phase or the awakening phase. Some of us will not become spiritually enlightened or awakened and understand that aspect of it, and that is okay. In the next lifetime, however, maybe they are brought to that. We don't always wake up at the same time and understanding the full aspect of the whole. Therefore, it happens in stages, and there are oftentimes conflict in terms of what we understand spirituality and religion to be. That's one thing that makes religious people angry, because they think that, well, okay, so you're spiritual, you're saying that you're on the right path, but you're saying negative things, and therefore it it goes against what they believe. And what religious people believe is, so that's the law in their book until they become spiritually enlightened. I'm not saying that there aren't religious people that aren't spiritually enlightened. They look at it from a different angle. And so spirituality and religion, looking at things from different angle, naturally will cause conflict in terms of the understanding of the whole. Is almost as if It's almost like the yin and the yang, right? Now, the yin and the yang is separated, right, into two. The You have, I wouldn't say light and darkness. When people think of darkness, they think of evil. Think about the physical realm and the spiritual realm, right? Think about the sun and the moon. Why did the Most High, why did God, why created the sun during the day? Why do we have two things? The sun during the day and the moon at night. Not necessarily because of evil, because there's a lot of things, great things that happen during the moonlight. Plants grow during the moonlight. We all came from darkness in the womb. When you're a child, when you're a baby in your mother's belly, you come out of darkness. You're created in darkness. A lot of people were created in darkness. When your mom and dad was doing things behind the scenes, so a lot of times it happened in darkness. Now, that doesn't make darkness bad. It's just a perception of it. A lot of people view darkness or the nighttime as being bad. When we go to sleep, that's connecting us to the spiritual realms. When we're awake, that's the physical realm. And that's the yin and yang, the balancing of the scales in this physicality in terms of how we view religion and spirituality. Now, religion, like I said, is a physical manifestation of spirituality, and vice versa. When spirituality is the unknown aspect, is not the physical aspect of religion, and therefore both are connected. And if we could find the underlying balance between, we'll understand that both are connected and both do need each other to strive and to become the whole. That's why, we should always go to keep an open mind to certain things. Not You don't have to accept everything you hear and see from others and stuff like that when it comes to religion and spirituality, but keep an open mind to learning and understanding more about what it actually is. Therefore, when we do that, we're opening the doors to a better understanding of the universe, of the whole, right? When we look out there in space, what do we see? Darkness. We also see the moon. We also see the sun. We also see stars. We see shooting stars. We see other planets. There are other things out there. And it is all connected. Now, sometime in the past, when it comes to religion and stuff like that, it was geared towards mostly showing us how we are, in the physical realm, and this is how it is. And if you believe otherwise, you're wrong, and you're teaching or preaching, or you're believing in false stuff or the evil stuff and stuff like, which is totally not true. We need to open our minds and be more understanding of what it actually is. And besides, a lot of people that are religious do believe in the unknown. When you serve God, when you pray and stuff like that. And I'm not talking about the P-R-E-Y. I'm talking about the P-R-A-Y. That's important. Some people, they mix the two up, and they do things. When they talk about prayer, they're not talking about the prayer. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm not going down that road. What I'm saying is that we should be more accepting and understanding. You don't have to accept it, but try to be more understanding on what involves in both. And therefore, I always try to be righteous. When I say righteous, I mean do the right things, because you're not hurting others only, you're hurting yourself. You're not only hurting others and their family, you're hurting yourself and your family by your own actions and your doings. And a lot of people, they don't care. As long as other people get hurt, they feel better because they're hurt. And I did a video on that before. However, that's not the right way to go about life. We should all be loving to each other, be peaceful, and we should all try to strive for a common goal in enlightenment, in peace, in love. We're here on this planet and in this realm to grow, not to go backwards, not to be hateful, not to be envious, not to be greedy about the only the physical aspect of this realm. We should also be understanding of the spiritual aspect of the realm. A lot of people, we need to chill out sometimes when it comes to judgment. Judgment is of what? The Lord. If you believe in the Bible, that's not your call to be making judgment on other people, especially if it's negative. Besides, there are courts that put in place. And courts and the law, the justice system, that is only to bring balance to situations where things went wrong. So there's a purpose for that, and that's different. There's a lot of people, and we all judge people. You know, we do it in the past. Sometimes we just look at people and we don't like them, and we judge them negatively, sometimes positively. And, you know, but that the whole point of it is, we're all here to learn from each other. This is a learning experience. We should love each other. We should take care of each other. We should all grow. We are here in this physical realm to learn the spiritual realm, to learn the aspects of that side also. For when we leave this planet, when we die, we are going back towards spirituality. When we are awake, we're in the physical realm. We do physical things. We go to work, we interact with people, we move around, we do this, we do that. And when we go to sleep, we're now in the spiritual realm. And that's the balance. A lot of people think that when we sleep, that it's just to rest and recharge. No, sleep is important for a reason, and sleep is there for a reason. And we need to understand that there's a connection between the physical and the spiritual realm based on that too. So I'm not going to make this video too long. I'm just, wanting to bring some pointers out there that spirituality and religion both are interconnected. Both are interconnected. And no matter how spiritual you are also, we all have to do physical things while we're in this realm. So we all have to, move about, do things. So that's connecting us to the physical aspect of this realm and this planet. And also, it also ties in with what religion does. So there's a connection between both. There is. It's not separate. It's not, because you're spiritual and I'm religion. It's just like we're just saying that, okay, you're white and I'm black. And then you have racial tensions and racism and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And that's just out of ignorance. We are all here. We're all people here to learn from each other, to love each other, to grow, and to understand what's our purpose in life and act on that purpose and live that purpose out. And hopefully in a positive way. Okay, now I'm already almost 20 minutes in this video. Just want to put that out there. Love each other, guys. Bring peace first, and we can all live and grow together. We can all make money together. We can all do it in the right way. Love your family, love your friends, and put aside the envy and the greed and the hate. Sometimes, not sometimes, all the times if we can, and just focus on progress in a positive way and moving in that way. And and because all this hate and anger just stir up a whole pot of BS, of things that is uncalled for, of people getting hurt, people losing their lives, where children being affected. We grow up, when we are growing up, a lot of us, we wish that our lives as children were a lot better. Why it wasn't better? Not because of any because of ourselves as children at the time, but most of the times things go bad is because of other people affecting their lives negatively. And I hope I'm not triggering anyone when I say this, but that's often what people do. And people, like I said, we need to move beyond that. We need to find peace. We need to find happiness. If it's your thing is making money, make money in the right way. Find that love, find that peace, find that happiness. Okay? All right, so let's grow, guys. And this is just a motivational video, and this is just about spirituality and religion. And that I didn't get to say the full thing, of aspect of my understanding of it, but hopefully the few pointers that I threw out there will kind of allow us to understand a little bit more that, okay, yes, I'm spiritual, that person's religious. We're not against each other. It's just different stages. You're more in the physical realm. It's just like the people would say the masculine and the feminine aspect of life, right? So if you're feminine, does that make the masculine bad? If you're masculine, does that make the feminine bad? No. But both come together to create what? Life. This is what I'm trying to put out there to people, and for us to understand that we're so embedded in, okay, well, I'm religious, so this is what I've known all my life, so I can't change and I can't learn and I can't grow because I know everything. That's not true. And it's the same thing with spirituality. A lot of us start out from the religious aspect of it. We graduated or we moved towards spirituality on the understanding of it. That doesn't make religion bad, because if it wasn't religion that set the foundation for our enlightenment, we would not have made it there in the first place. And this is why they're connected and both are important, right? Now, like I said, spread peace, spread love, right? Spread peace, spread love. Love each other. Thank you. I love you all, and peace. I'm out.